Cherry Magic, 30 years of virginity can make you a wizard, Voice Ever Review. If this were a fairy tale, we have reached our happily ever after. By now, Adachi, daydreaming, but our lives were just getting started. Spoilers ahead. Kurosawa Adachi, the wizard who can read other people's minds because he was still a virgin, when he reached the age of 30, had made lost. At last, if Adachi wakes up next morning, he can no longer hear what his lover is thinking when he confesses to Kurosawa and lost his sexual ability. Kurosawa is relieved, and the way by when Adachi says, I thought, even without magic, then as long as I was with you, I'll be fine. He moves to tears. But their happiness is a short life as Adachi has to make a decision about the Nagasaki job he's been offered. He apologizes to Kurosawa, realizing that he really wants to test himself by taking on the opening of the new store for the company. And Kurosawa, good and a supportive partner that he is, can find it in him to object, even drunk selfishly. He liked to, after he begins to scheme to see if he can find a reason to visit Nagasaki and work for more often himself. It is not so surprising that, when doing the wash up together, he finds himself suggesting to Adachi that they move in together when the Nagasaki transfer comes to an end. Sounds good to me, Adachi says, with a dancing smile and goes on to add, that was almost a proposal just now, which freaks Kurosawa out as he meant to do the proposal thing properly. It's both them watching rings. There's not no time to pretend to give one to Adachi, you don't have to worry all the time or anything. And then Adachi moves out of his flat and finds himself working on all the hours, and then some to get the Nagasaki store ready for opening on time. Up in his college, from Nagasaki, they pass a church where the wedding is taking place with two brides. Adachi pauses, impressed, and says, It's beautiful. The translator's helpful note at the back of the volume tells us that it's all a Catholic church, the oldest Christian church still standing in Japan, and he's planted to see the idea in his mind. Meanwhile, Adachi's novelist friend, Suge, who also become a wizard at 30, is still trying to come to terms with his unrequited, or so it seems, feelings for the inspiring dancer delivery man Minato. Minato, encouraged by Suge, has gone for an audition on a live stream show, but it doesn't make the final cut. However, there's one more chance in the week. The audience vote after he's already been told by one of the judges that all he has to offer is technique. It's now or never if he wants to fulfill his dream. But has he got to lose if he doesn't give this one last try? Minato sets out on his scooter only to break down on the way there. Has he blown his final chance? After 6 volumes of following the slumbering relationship between shy Adachi and self-confident Kurosawa, it's impossible not to be moved by their reactions on the morning and the night before. We've been rooting for their relationships to work for so long, and because Yota, who is still, let's face it, not always the most skilled in the graphics department, is nevertheless very good at creating believable characters. The heart-to-heart that takes place between the two men is probably the most affecting she's written so far, so the mature rating is earned. Although there's nothing very explicit here, and is the relationship consensual, while a mix for a heartwarming read. Square Enix manga brings us another attractively presented volume in this feels-good voice. Love series, which was written by Taylor Engel and lettered by Bianca Pistillo. As in previous volumes, there's a one color page at the beginning, a preview and an extract for the first chapter of the next volume, due in August. Although this volume was a little delayed, then the date might change, as well as a 2-page bonus manga about Adachi Kurosawa's New Year, 9 out of 10.